Hi, it's Theresa with this week's angel message. And this week, this task for me feels very weighted with responsibility. And the angels are telling me that that's what so many of us are feeling in our own lives, based on personal circumstances as well as world circumstances. So when I checked in with the angels this morning, they were talking about grace. And this card is so perfect, actually, for where we are right now. The most important thing that we can do to create peace on this planet is to hold our center, is to hold the vision. What that means in practical terms is that we need to stay as balanced as possible. So when things happen that rock us off our center, that make us question why, that make us question how, it's important for us to do the things that get ourselves back at center quickly. So for a lot of us, that looks like spiritual practice. That may be meditation, that may be prayer. It may be a walk out in the park. It may just be playing board games with friends. Whatever it is that brings us peace and balance. I've heard in the last week a few different people saying that they feel really guilty being grateful for the incredible things they have in their life when other people have so little. And so the angels want to speak to that because gratitude is actually one of the fastest ways to get each of us back to center. Gratitude is a frequency that pulls us back into alignment with our higher selves and with the divine very quickly and incredibly effectively. When we are rocked off center, I've heard a lot of people saying, well, why bother? Why should I bother praying for everyone? Why should I bother with my spiritual practice? Why should I bother trying to make a difference when this happens? And whatever it is that this is at the time in the news or in your personal life. And the angels want to remind us to look at how many incredibly wonderful things are happening at the same time that that one thing that we perceive as negative is happening. So today in the news, there's something that everyone is perceiving as really disheartening and really negative. But look at all of the other things that are happening that are positive in the world. There's just so much good that people are doing, and allowing ourselves to be rocked off center into the negative and into giving up by the one thing that we perceive as negative is very irresponsible. Now, the angels are talking in terms of frequency, and it is much easier for us to align ourselves with a negative frequency than it is to align ourselves with a positive frequency. It is actually a lot harder to hold a positive frequency when there's so much negative around you, and they're acknowledging that. So they're bringing me to the vision of when you have a bunch of old clocks in a room with the pendulums, and the pendulums are swinging. If you bring all the clocks in the evening and put them there, they'll all be swinging at different rates. If you come back the next morning, all of the pendulums will be swinging in the same direction at the same time. And that's why the angels are saying that it's so important for us to hold our frequency of light and of joy right now. That is actually why we're here. We are here to anchor that frequency on the planet so that the pendulums start aligning with that frequency. Instead of allowing ourselves to be rocked off of center from that light energy, from that love energy, from that energy of grace, into the negative, into the darkness, into giving up. And they're acknowledging that it does take a lot more energy to hold that frequency, which is why they are asking us to practice more self-care. They're saying, make sure you have enough gas in your tank at the end of the day for yourself. Please, that is so important right now, because if we are not taking care of ourselves, we can much more easily be pulled out of alignment into a place of aligning ourselves with an energy of negativity. The definition of grace is actually to honor or give credit to someone or something else by the way you show up, by your presence. And that is what we're being called to. We are supposed to do honor and give credit to the divine by the way we show up and are present at this time. That is the way that the love of the divine will circulate this planet. That is the way that the light of the divine will circulate this planet. Right now, we are definitely in a time where where it's important for us to hold the vision of the light at the end of the tunnel. Because as we're overcoming our obstacles as a population, as individuals, they're coming into the light so that we can see where the obstacles are that we need to overcome. We can see where the things are that need changing, that need tweaking, that need nurturing. We can see where people are struggling, and we can see the places where we need to support each other. That we are here to anchor the energy of grace. We are here to be grace just by showing up. And think of yourself as that pendulum. In the room of clocks, you want to be that pendulum that everyone else aligns to that energy of peace, that energy of grace, that energy of light, knowing that all is in divine order, even in the really difficult times. So that is the message of the angels this week. And in practical means, they want us to make sure we're doing the things that we enjoy, that we're practicing joy, whatever it is, in the midst of all of the other things. So making that time to feel good, making that time to replenish ourselves, to connect with friends, just to laugh, whatever it is that brings you back into that energy of joy is really, really important. And the angels are saying, we will keep giving you this message as long as you need it, because it's so important. It's really the only way to move through at this point in time is to hold that energy of peace, that energy of grace, that energy of joy, and to surround yourselves with things and others that help you to do that. That's this week's message. And if you feel like you would like a little more support in this and to connect with like-minded people, we've started a community online of people who feel called to be the light, to hold the energy of peace. Just click the link in the description of this video and you'll be taken there and you can join. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next week.